AI is here, and unfortunately is here to stay. Like many others, when it first came out, I was pretty excited about how it could be used in my art and in my process. AI is one of those things where there's this portrayed black and white standard. There's no gray area. Either you're for it or you're against it. This is not the case. Its value is determined by the user, by the person who consumes the thing that comes out of the AI. Now, in this video, though I'm not a major voice in anything, and I made my own little soapbox here, I am going to tell you my opinion on generative AI. Like I said earlier, AI was something I was excited about when it first came out. I only first started hearing about it early 2022, which was when it first started having its little boost. Now, when it came out, the thing that fascinated me the most was image generation. So yes, I played with this a little bit. It was fascinating to me that a computer could create something that looked almost identical to a taken photo or a frame from your favorite cartoon. What would this look like in my creative process? Could this be used for getting more custom references or be used to help artists with something that they're struggling at, like backgrounds? P.S. Don't do this. This, one, makes you lazy, and two, hinders your growth a lot, okay? It does. While generative AI is fun, it can be dangerous to the art community. Almost every piece of media on the internet is being fed into these robots to train them on how to create these things. Now, this product that it's creating can only be described as an anti-hero. To fully understand this, let me explain to you how generative AI is trained. And this is for generating any sort of media, text, images, audios, any of that. Now, before we can go any farther in the video, I need to fulfill an obligation. 1, subscribe to my YouTube channel. You know, a shameless plug. Like my video, hit the bell. It's 2017 and I'm telling you to subscribe to my channel. 2, join the Discord server. There's people there that you can talk to about all of your problems. Or post your art in there, because that's what it's for. Anyway, back to the video. The starting point is the library. The library is where the AI gets all of its source material. Now, this library is comprised of things pulled off of the internet. This is anything, images, text, articles, music, anything can be used in AI. For image generation, this is places like Google Images or Pinterest. Now, when you ask an AI bot to generate something, it is taking all of this information that it has gathered and mashing it together in bits and pieces that it thinks is correct into a sort of Frankenstein's monster. This whole process has become a big loop. So first, let's talk about the library. The library is not things that were taken by said creators of the AI. The information is stuff that is made by people. Heck, it's probably taken in something made by you. Your picture of your dog or your annoying cousin that you posted on Instagram. That probably went into creating that AI generated image of Nicole Watterson from Gumball. Like I said earlier, almost every image that goes onto the internet gets fed into these AI training programs. This is making people, including myself, kind of frustrated, because we don't want the work that we spent hours, days, weeks creating to be fed into a program for someone's laziness to get an instant gratification rather than learning a skill, putting in the work, or even hiring one of us artists to create this thing. We also don't want our work getting put into this cancerous disease that has been consuming anyone under the age of 11. What are you guys doing, honestly? This whole reason right here is why many art websites have been implementing an AI opt-out feature. One of these websites is DeviantArt. Other websites have completely gone against no AI. We are not training that stuff. And I post all of my artwork on this website. 1, because it's a great website. 2, it doesn't train AI. And this website's called Kara. You can find me. I'll put a link in the description to it. The second step in this loop is the product of the generative AI. This is why we cannot effectively use any sort of generative AI, especially image AI, in our creative process. The reason for this is AI makes mistakes. Yes, people also make mistakes, but we have a mechanism in our brain that allows us to look at something and go, wait, that doesn't look right. AI doesn't have this because it's a computer. We've all heard the thing that not even the most powerful supercomputer can hold the processing ability of the human brain. This is absolutely true. Now, let me put this into perspective for you. The most powerful computer on Earth would only be able to hold about 1% of our brain's processing ability. If this computer existed, in theory, to contain, use, and store everything that is in the human brain and how it works, not including the aspect of a human soul, would require about 10 million terabytes of storage, and it would require 1 exaflop of processing power. 1 exaflop is equivalent to about 10 million of your average CPU. Now, the chat assistant that you have open in your Internet Explorer tab does not have anything near to the process ability of the human brain. This thing, it just takes what it thinks looks right and just slaps it together. The code for this is a little bit more complicated, but that is the most basic explanation of what it does. So even as babies, people are able to tell when something doesn't look right. That is why a 2-year-old will stare at the disabled man on the bus, because something doesn't look right. A robot doesn't have this ability. A robot only does what it thinks looks right, and that is getting worse. That brings us to the third and final step of our loop, but because it's a loop, we're back where we began, the library. The library is getting worse. It is getting filled with its own flawed creation, its own generated images. A prime example of this is Pinterest. Look at Pinterest. It used to be this amazing site filled with images, references, material where artists could go to find inspiration or references. That I'm repeating myself, but that's what it was. Since then, it is now like the imposter game, trying to filter out what is good and what is AI slop. And there is no filter. There's no option to turn off AI results. The second thing to note about Pinterest is that the images on Pinterest are used to train AI. Alright, so I have a brand new Pinterest account right here, and we're going to do a little experiment. How long does it take to find an AI generated image? The first thing I'm going to note here is the terms of service and privacy policy update here on the top. This says we're updating our terms and service on how we train models, including those using generative AI, and how we retain your information. Now, all of this has to do with AI, even retaining your own information, because things such as cookies are put into an algorithm. I don't care about these. You can use these because it customizes your own experience. It's what makes the internet the internet. But what I'm focusing on is training models and generating AI. If you just look at this is the home feed. All of this is AI generated. This is most likely AI generated. This is definitely AI generated. This is AI generated. This is AI generated. I mean, just look at this. And like, of course, you have the odd few in here that aren't AI generated. Like, you'll have like anatomy sketches, stuff like that. Like, AI isn't gonna generate accurate anatomy sketches. And I know that these are accurate anatomy sketches because I know what I'm looking at. But like, this is AI generated. And then like you go down and it's all AI. 85% of this is AI. This is a crazy good drawing though. This is not AI. But anyway, you get the point. When you have AI being trained on AI images, it just gets worse. This is the same reason why you can't marry your sibling. Your kid is born with 2.5 eyes and a second belly button. The principles of genetics and training AI are different, but the base idea that I'm trying to convey here is the same. You cannot put the same thing into a machine and expect something better to come out. Now, earlier in the video, I described AI as a sort of antihero, a sorts of Venom. Venom is typically portrayed as this big evil guy who likes eating people, which is true, but he also has his purpose for good. Now, I already discussed what was bad and evil about generative AI. Now, let's look at the good aspect of generative AI. Generative AI is good when it comes to things like research and feedback. A lot of people are going out and getting their medical degrees using ChatGPT to cheat and not learn anything. What I'm talking about is using generative AI to actually do your research. Generative AI is not an academically credible source, but materials such as Wikipedia and other sorts of wikis, generative AI often gives its sources. Now, these sources can be used to find credible information. This is one of the only areas that generative AI is actually useful and good. I personally use ChatGPT for the research for this video. I would have never puffed up what the flippin' exoflop was by myself. Do I look smart? So, AI is here whether we like it or not. A lot of people like AI, much like Venom, because it looks cool. AI is not objectively evil, but it's also not sent from our Lord God Jehovah Jesus Christ up in the heavens above. Just, guys, don't go out and cancel people for using AI. Mind your own business, okay? Now, here's a little recap of my thoughts in the video. Image generating AI is garbage, and I would not give a single rip if it was wiped off the face of the earth. I probably wouldn't even think about it. Generative text AI is acceptable for research purposes and feedback only. It is not acceptable to use it to cheat your work or be lazy and get an instant satisfactory, I'm gonna submit this for my senior paper. Now, everyone has their own opinions. Leave them to their opinions. Don't cancel people. Let me know your opinions about AI in the comments. Am I gonna hit the mic? Nope, my knee hit the wall. And then my head hit the wall. Ah.